and welcome back to the Free Speed Podcast, your go-to podcast for navigating fitness and life with purpose. I'm your host, Tash.
And I'm Cal.
Today we have another solo episode for you guys. It is episode 30 episodes deep of the Free Speed Podcast, which is kind of crazy to say. And today we kind of wanted just to touch on betting on yourself and the story of building Free Speed as a brand, kind of from start to now. And yeah, we just kind of wanted to take a trip down memory lane and just reflect on how far we've come since we've started this podcast. So
I want to start, let's rewind 4 to 5, maybe 6 years at this point. And when I graduated high school, my best friend Spencer and I decided we wanted to start podcasting. And I don't know what it was. It must have been just seeing content creators and TikTokers having the freedom to post videos online and basically live their life almost like a movie and just have fun. When you see people who are creating content, I think the number one thing that most people relate to is they're just having a good time and doing something that they love. And so when Spencer and I were we want to start creating content, I bought 2 microphones. I asked for 2 microphones for my birthday, actually. And we got the microphones, we got everything, we got it all set up. And we were too scared to even start. And I think that is something that a lot of people struggle with. And I think Tash and I at one point struggled with this just the same. But there was just a level of confidence and a level of comfort that we developed over time. And I think if you are listening to this and you aren't at that point yet, just believe in yourself. Just keep betting on yourself and keep trusting that even though at this point you might not feel ready to put yourself and be vulnerable online or whatever it may be, you will get there. And I was in my senior year of university last year, and I was in this very small group of a leadership group, and every week we would talk about these things and our vision and our goals and what was important to us. And one of the small steps that I had decided was I was going to start a TikTok account that my face wasn't even a part of it. And I was going to be consistent with just posting and growing a brand, a motivational brand from behind the scenes. And from there, I would be more likely to be able to be consistent and less afraid of saying something or being tied and attached to something that might make me look bad.
Yeah, and if you guys don't know, Cal, when I first started dating him, and honestly 2-3 years into dating, still had not a fear of posting online, but it did not come naturally to you at all. And you'd always overthink everything. You just cared a lot about what people thought about you. So you were really hesitant to post on social media.
And not only that, but
then.
I found myself always comparing myself to other people. And when I would look at things, I would just be oh, it's not good enough. Oh, I had a idea, I had a vision, and I just was unhappy with the level of which I wanted to be able to produce high quality just content.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's the parallel. Is last year I was in this real place where I wanted to make a change, because 5 years ago, like I mentioned, my best friend and I had gotten these podcast mics. We had gotten all the equipment. We had gotten the GoPros. We were filming our stuff. We were filming workouts. But CapCut didn't exist. So in terms of video editing, we had no video editing skills. We didn't have the focus or the time or anything. And I think what's so amazing is when I look back at myself 6 years ago, it was never a dream that I would ever get to this point and actually get to it. And I know there's levels to it. And I think, Tash, like, because you started when you did, you have been able to level yourself up so much in terms of how fast you are. Like, why don't you tell people who are listening, like, how much you've grown in terms of your skills, like your actual skills behind the scenes?
It's kind of crazy. Like, if you asked me 5-6 years ago if I would be creating content, editing content, producing content for other brands and businesses, producing a high-level podcast behind the scenes, like, I wouldn't ever think that I'd be where I am at this point today. And I always knew I really enjoyed editing videos. Even like in high school projects and stuff, I would always be the one to be like, oh, I'll try to edit this video. Obviously, it was like shit back then.
iMovie.
Yeah, like literally iMovie. I remember like just trying my best to kind of work through it and just like try to find these free video editing softwares that had like a free trial or whatever. I remember I started on like Wondershare. If anybody knows who that is, it's like a editing platform that's not very big right anymore, but it used to be big back then. But yeah, it's kind of crazy because I feel like I've gotten so efficient at editing videos now to the point where Cal will give me his phone and be like, can you just please help me? Like, it will take you a third of the time or the fourth of the time that it'll take me to just do some quick edits for a story post or something. And honestly, if you're afraid to start editing videos or posting on social media, you just need to get over it. Like, you just need to get over it. Because if the only thing that's holding you back is, oh, what are the people from high school going to think about me? Like, if that's your biggest worry, you need to chuck that out the window and just start doing what you want. And you don't even have to post it if you don't want to. You can just start editing content and just see where it goes. But
I think there's something super, super impressive about people who start and their content is like very amateur and it gets good.
Well, that's the thing.
And I think that's what
me.
I struggle with is sometimes I compare myself to like my last post when I should really just be more comfortable knowing that like it's okay to be slightly amateur.
Yeah, exactly.
It's better.
And a lot of people, especially on social media, enjoy consuming organic iPhone content. And there is a specific niche where people are posting high quality, like 4K cinema, like productions on reels and stuff. And obviously, like, that's more kind of what I want to get into, is more cinematic stuff, just because that's what I enjoy. But that's not everyone's cup of tea. And honestly, stuff that just lands and is relatable and is just quickly edited on an iPhone, like, that's always going to be around.
So I want to really give people who are listening to this a 101 of the step process to becoming more comfortable, because I talk to people at work at the supplement factory, and when I yesterday was my last day, and I was just like, oh yeah, like, we'll stay in touch like on social media, like if you ever need anything, like just let me know, because that's how I always feel like when you leave new environments, leave new communities, it's like you always want to like still keep those doors open with the people and not make them think like, oh, see you later. But a lot of people fear posting on social media. They fear that no one cares. They fear all this stuff. And I think in terms of giving people tangible things to take away, the first step is recording yourself in public, recording yourself day to day, and just get the content into your camera roll. Step number 1, start recording yourself on your runs, taking more photos, and documenting your life. From there, you'll have the bones. You'll have the bones to then the bones to then start creating
the skeleton
and then editing, right? So step 1 is creating and filming and documenting. Step 2 is then taking whatever content you've made and either editing it. Jesus, almost had an aneurysm saying that. And whatever that looks like, if it's a video, if it's clips, but those will get better over time. The clips that you make, the reels, whatever it is, the TikToks, those will get better. And so you need to trust in that. And like I said earlier, you don't have to necessarily start with your personal account. You can create an account, for example, a motivational account, or what's another idea? Like a lifestyle or travel, like you put travel tips and you just like do some research because you're really interested into traveling, and you find discounts or deals, and you find some sort of niche that is connected to something you're interested in. And then you use that as gaining confidence, gaining traction, maybe taking criticism. And I think that's what a lot of people fear, is like either no one is going to care or you're going to get hate.
But what are the odds of someone actually commenting on your post saying, "Hey, this fucking sucks"? When have you ever seen that?
And the truth is, when people start doing that, you've made it. You've usually made it.
Exactly.
Tash and I have kind of collectively decided that anyone who gets hate is become relevant enough to spark people.
Oh, exactly.
To be trying to get attention in spite of the fact that you're doing something good, or making them think about why they want to disagree with you or get some sort of eyeballs on their stuff. So anyway, from there, I think once you're comfortable enough with posting some sort of reels or any content on an account that your face isn't attached to, that's where you make the jump to maybe posting once a week or once every 2 weeks. And what I've tried to set myself up for this year is to post once a week for the year. And ultimately, after a year, I'll know maybe I want to post more, maybe I want to post less, maybe I want to make the production higher quality, maybe I want to go to YouTube, maybe I want to do something different.
Mm-hmm.
And I think when you put less pressure on yourself and you realize that really what only matters is the people that are close to you, their opinions are the ones that matter, then you can go to bed and sleep at night and you don't really care whether anyone else likes it or not. And I think that's right off the back of last episode. What Lockie was saying is you really just need to have a strong group, strong family, and strong maybe partner or 1 or 2 friends. Excuse me. And if they back you, right, then not only is the belief in yourself so powerful, but their belief in you, it's all you really need.
Mm-hmm. And also, what I kind of been getting in the mindset of doing is just like, I post whatever I want to post when I feel like posting it, and I close the app and I don't look at it. And I feel like a lot of people get caught up in the validation that they get from posting. So they'll post something, they'll constantly refresh their Instagram. Oh, who commented? Oh, who liked my post? Mm-hmm. And I'm literally like, I couldn't care less. Obviously, I care about the people who do like my post and comment, and I'll try to respond to everyone that I can, but there comes a point where you just need to realize that you're posting for yourself. And I feel like this happens sometimes with you, where you'll post something and I find that you just get caught up in like, oh, what should I caption it? Like, I don't know what do you think will be the best? And I'm like, who are you posting it for? Yourself. Right?
And one of the things I wanted to bring up to you though was there is, because I think the relationship you have with social media is one that everyone should aspire to have. But one of the things that I think is important to remember that you can sometimes get away from is if you want to grow your social media, if that's ultimately like something that's important in being able to spread a message, then there is a calculated component of social media that you need to take. You have to take the value of it.
Yeah.
And what I mean by that is the views of certain videos and the likes of certain videos is direct feedback on what the consumer is liking, what you are creating.
Yeah.
It's simple. It's
some things are gonna land and some things aren't, and you learn from it. But that's just specific to if you want to grow your social media. And I'm at the point where I'm all in on the Free Speed podcast and Free Speed as a brand and as a community, to the point where, yeah, I want to grow my personal page, but that's not my top priority right now. And I feel like I'm only posting to just give updates on my training and posting videos that I like and edits and gym edits that I enjoy creating. And it's not my sole priority to grow my account. And if I was trying to do that, you would see me do a lot more trends and, oh, do this trend to this trending audio and be posting 4 times a week. But the truth is, I don't enjoy doing that. And I'd rather put all my effort into creating high quality content for Free Speed that will actually make a difference.
And there's 2 things I want to talk about, which is the first thing is Nick Bear recently brought up a great point of a lot of people create their personal brand and then off the back of that create a business.
Yeah.
And what he's done is he created this business and started to build up his personal brand and the story behind it to help connect and make his business more of a living, breathing thing rather than just this massive organization.
He literally said that on his last podcast.
Exactly.
A brand is living.
Exactly. And I think that's exactly what we're doing with Free Speed. Is Free Speed is our focus in building a hybrid fitness community.
Yeah, and something that's going to work long term.
Right. And being able to align high achievers and bring those people together, because one of the things that really inspired me to start Free Speed was everybody at one point in their life is an athlete. And whether it's when you're starting high school, finishing high school, an injury, finishing university, most people decide to give up being an athlete. And Tash and I believe you're never not an athlete. You should never stop being an athlete. You're always training for life, training for health, training with purpose, always connecting the roots of you were always an athlete. So stay connected to that and let it be a value in your life to keep training with that same passion and purpose that you once did. You used to run around with a soccer ball when you were 6 and then you're 10 and then you got away from it. There's still tons of activity and sport and competition and enjoyment.
It might not be the same thing, but have you experimented? And maybe you want to run a half marathon or a full marathon, and your old sport used to be like volleyball or something. Like people don't know what they're capable of, and I feel like a lot of people don't realize that I also came from a non-athletic background. I literally was a fat kid who never played sports and just got into hybrid fitness in the last, 2-3 years. So I feel like that's also the message that I want to give to people, is that you are capable of more. And if you build yourself on intent and with intention in everything that you do, you will be the best version of yourself possible. And I feel like a lot of people, if you're listening to this and going like, this is stupid, then turn this podcast off, because I don't want you listening to this. But I feel like life, recently, I've been like reflecting on this a lot. Life is like designed so we are the most comfortable and lazy versions of ourselves possible. Everything in life in 2025 is created to be like more efficient, and more convenient, and less work for the human race. I don't know if that makes sense.
No, that makes perfect sense.
But that's why we do hard shit, because we seek out things that make us feel alive. Because sitting in an office doing a 9-to-5 job, literally sitting on a chair for 8 hours a day for the rest of your life, that doesn't make you feel alive. You know what I mean?
And that's what I was thinking about. So one of the Logan Allen, who we recently helped cover, and one of the free speed athletes, do a 100-kilometer ultra marathon. Was it this past weekend or the weekend before? This past weekend. Think about working 5 days a week, and on your day off saying, I want to run for 14 hours. That's not a day off.
Yeah.
Right? Why would you want to do that?
You seek out the uncomfortable.
Exactly.
Because it makes you feel alive.
And there's more to life than just what's easy.
Exactly.
Is if you experience things that are so challenging, it makes your hard day just average. It forces you to grow. So remember that is being uncomfortable and being vulnerable are two of the most valuable things you can take through life, because once you are uncomfortable, once you're vulnerable, you're forced to adapt. You're forced to learn. You're forced to be introspective and think about who you are as a person, because then you get to see how bad you want it, what kind of things you really value, and the people you want to surround yourself with.
Exactly. The story of free speed is just getting started. And I guess that's why we wanted to kind of just take a second and reflect on how far we've come in the last, was it 8 or 9 months now? So 30 episodes deep. And honestly, if you're wanting to start your own podcast, just do it. Like, we started with 2 Samson 2QU microphones that we bought off of Amazon that are USB. You plug it right into your laptop. And we used a platform called Podcastle to record our first 23 episodes, I think. And I mean, it was all right. It worked.
And we learned a lot, and that was the most important thing. When Tash and I started, this was never what we expected it to get to. We had the vision, but we could never have thought that this was possible. And we also didn't want it to be this big when we first started. And that's the important thing, is like, never try and bite off more than you can chew.
Exactly.
And with anything that you're doing and anything you're looking forward to, is make small steps, try and make your progress as linear as possible, knowing that sometimes it isn't. Sometimes you have bad days. Today, I woke up and I felt like this brain fog came over me. But guess what? I knew that when I came to the podcast studio and I started talking to Tash, that everything in life, everything would settle down, and this is where I'm meant to be.
Mm-hmm.
So just remember that sometimes you don't need to look so far ahead. So what we did was we recorded audio podcasts.
Yeah.
We recorded audio podcasts every week, and from there we started to look bigger, and we started to see what was the next step, what were the next steps to be able to grow and create the community and the impact that we wanted to. And I think that's really what you can benefit from when you look at your life right now is, what kind of life do I want to live? What kind of impact do I want to make? And where can I make a change?
Yeah.
And so that's why Tash and I have stuck with it up until now and for the future.
Yeah.
Is Tash has learned so much through the content side of things. And I think that's what you're excited to get into, is there's a lot of people off the back of what we were just talking about who are trying to become more comfortable, get better at whether it's their own brand that they're building, whether you just started your own business. We have a lot of friends that are going to become entrepreneurs or business owners. There's tons of people listening to this that are high achievers that are looking to start their own business. And that's what Tash also is sort of starting to pivot as an avenue of what you're doing, is be able to help people and use your camera as a means to helping athletes showcase, right? Helping them grow their own personal brand, helping brands film content and do that sort of thing. And I think that's an avenue you had never even considered.
Yeah. And as like a byproduct of this whole journey, I kind of just recently decided that I wanted to, take it more seriously. So I literally bought a $1,500 camera. Obviously, that's like still on the low end. But yeah, I bought a camera, put on my credit card, didn't have the money for it. I said, fuck it, I'm doing it anyways, and I'll figure it out. And I told myself it has to work out because
if you don't take risks, you will never be happy with where you are. If you never take the risk, you will never be happy with where you are, because guess what? You'll always think, what if? What if I did this? What if I did this? Well, guess what? If you live your life saying what if, then your life will go by, and all you will have to do is be frustrated, upset, and disappointed with the opportunities and the life that you could have lived. And that's really what it is. And so take it from us, take it from Tash and I. Tash and I both started this, and over the last 9 months have stuck with it, because we want to be the type of people that, it's not instant, it's not automatic, it's consistent day after day, but it's still pursuing and following what you see is important to you.
Exactly. And yeah, we're sitting here today, July 24th, 2025, recording episode 30 of the Free Speed podcast. Did we think we would get this far? I don't know. I think we had the potential. Like, we never said we were going to stop doing it, but we're sitting in a studio recording with 6K Blackmagic cinema cameras and pro audio. And this is almost a year of consistent work and pushing through and, navigating through self-doubt and financial stress and burnout. And yeah, if you're watching this or listening to this going, oh, she's lucky. I'm not lucky. I put so much work into this, and I don't make a single cent from it.
Yet.
Yet.
Yeah.
Yet. And I put myself into these positions and situations to make connections and work for people that can provide me with opportunities like this.
What do you think, despite all the work that you put in, and sometimes it is extremely discouraging, what is the one thing that keeps you going? What is the one thing that keeps you going?
I feel like it's hard because there was a point where I was really close to pulling the plug.
Mm-hmm.
And
what was that?
it was like a tough few months. Like the period from like March to, I want to say, like even like beginning of June. It was right after my second pro High Rocks race. I felt like I was a failure.
Mm-hmm.
A job opportunity fell through. I just felt like a shell of a human, and it was a really tough time navigating. Like, our relationship wasn't as strong as I wanted it to be. We were really struggling with that. There was a lot of tension, just like financial stress, living abroad in Australia with trying to chase our dream. And like, it's really hard when you have no money, just to be completely transparent. And yeah, there was like a span of a few months where I was feeling really negative towards myself. My body image was just terrible. I wasn't confident. I stopped posting on social media. And
what
from
changed?
the outside, like probably no one noticed, but like I think what changed was the people I surrounded myself with, and also just like just realizing like how far I've come to be able to be in this position.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of just like, it dawned on me like, wow, that it's possible to like chase your dream. It takes a lot of time and effort, but it's possible. And I think in July, like I started feeling a lot better about myself just because of everything. And yeah, it was a tough few months, but now that we're at the spot that we are now, I don't ever see us like quitting, because I see potential in it. And I want to keep talking to amazing guests. I want to hear their stories. I want to be able to gain knowledge in areas of life that I've never even heard of or experienced. And I just feel like podcasting is such a great way of doing that. And it makes people so much more wise. And there's so much more life to live. And listening to people's stories, I think, really can change people's lives. And that's kind of why I will never stop doing this, because I really enjoy it, even though I have a fear of like speaking. I used to have a fear of public speaking. And I don't know about you, but even in like high school, or maybe not high school, but university for sure, I was listening to podcasts a lot, and they weren't necessarily the educational ones. Like I was listening to the H3 podcast, like Brittany Broski, just like little silly things like that, just that to make my day better. And I always thought like, oh my God, I wish I had the confidence to speak into a microphone like they do. And it's like, you have what it takes. You just need to literally get over that barrier. Obviously, I'm still not the best public speaker.
But
you can tell I'm still taking breaks, like trying to think of what to say before I say it. I'm not the best at speaking just like that at the top of my tongue. You know how some people are like that.
Oh yeah, but think about this. Like if you had started in 4 years, then you would have been 4 years behind than where you are now.
Exactly.
And that's
And
so
I know I'm
important.
just gonna get better as time goes on, and that's what I've always wanted is like I used to always tell myself I wish I could be that confident. I wish I could sound wise and know all these things, and I think this is the way to do it.
One of the most important things that I've taken from just since we've moved here and being surrounded by people who have maybe been more successful or reached certain levels or kind of been almost role models, and just having conversations with them, is where you are right now is exactly where you want to be. And if you're a good person, and you root yourself in making good decisions, then good things will happen. And it's simple. It's really simple. And what I mean by this is there's so many fuck ups. There's so many people that will fuck up their own life. There's so many people that will follow bad decisions and fuck their lives up. And I really mean this. That all you got to do is just be a good person. If you live your life as a good person, then you'll always get yourself into the places that you are meant to be. And I think a lot of people confuse that, and I think that's what makes me so happy of why we're doing this, is regardless if we get 1 million views or whatever success we get from this, it's like the whole point is to find the good people
And inspire others to be
and
high
and
achievers.
I want to find the good people that relate and connect with us.
Yeah.
And the people that we aspire to meet as well, that have been doing this as well.
Yeah.
And people who are high achievers and want to be surrounded by good people.
And if you're listening to this going, damn, but there's no one around in my hometown where I grew up in all my life. No shit. Like, no shit. Make a decision and take a risk and move somewhere new and meet new people. Like, that's literally the only way to find yourself.
Mm-hmm. Remember
if you're in the same boat as we are.
Mm-hmm.
But
I had a conversation with Tash just the other night about how there's something old school that I wish society and I wish communities made it more normal. Is one of our really good friends, Logan, who just did this 100K ultra, came over and like we made dinner together. And I just find it so shocking how infrequent people
do that now.
do things like that.
Yeah.
Is now that social media has us so connected that
we are the most distant we've ever been from
and it's
people.
so sad. So, and that's maybe one of the most important things that you can take off the back of this is maybe just invite some friends over for dinner.
Cook together.
Even
if it's just chicken and rice.
Not even, and what I don't even mean invite them over. Make it a habit. Make it a habit that every Tuesday or Thursday or whatever it is that you guys, like, you cook together and it's like you're a family. Because not enough people, more people than I can even count, make every single interaction in their life so transactional, and they are on their own journey. They don't ever see you as, oh, like, we're family. And I think the more people see their community as a family and they coexist, then those are the type of people that you really want to cherish. You really want to cherish, because guess what? Out of the months and months and months that we've been here, even even that, it's been challenging, but I'm going to challenge myself to make a difference and try and be better with doing that with more than just one person, right? Is It's easy to say this, but Tash and I have like one of our good friends who does that, but we can also expand that to more and more people. So try and take that into your own world. Try and make it more fluid. Don't be so rigid. Oh, excuse me. Don't make it so my four walls and your four walls are aren't are barriers. Like when I make dinner, I just want people in this world to think that you can come knock on someone's door. Think about how weird that would be if someone came and knocked on your door, right? Like that's the old school way, right? Is just like you have neighbors and you have relationships that are so much more connected. So, yeah. With that, that is where the free speed is trying to make a difference and make an impact, is make good people, good high achieving people feel like they have others that they can rely on, they can depend on, and are there for them, and vice versa. That is what free speed is all about.
Okay, free speed for today. Something I've noticed is that you can't wait until you're confident to show up. You need to show up until you're confident. And I feel like a lot of people either don't realize that or forget it along the way, like I have. And it's honestly something I've had to, deal with for the last few months. I was really struggling with my confidence and my self-esteem. I felt worthless at times, and it's just something that you need to get over. And there's not a specific way that I can tell you how to get over it. I think it'll just come with time. But for me, my path, it felt harder because I feel like my calling is higher, if that makes sense. So I just need to understand that I can't run from it, and I need to lean into it more. And yeah, that's my free speed. Just don't wait until you're confident to show up. You need to show up until you are confident.
My free speed for today is, it doesn't matter where you are. Wherever you are right now, you'll figure it out. And I think Tash and I, like when we started this, we had never thought we would get to this point. And when we look into the future, I think sometimes there's things that concern us or worry us just about like where we will be because of the uncertainty. And I just want you to believe in the fact that you're gonna figure out the next week. You're gonna figure out the next month. And whatever happens, if you do bet on yourself, if you do believe in yourself, then even if things don't go the right way, they'll lead to opportunities and new things that you wouldn't have then had they had not gone the wrong way. And so no matter which way things go, everything will end up working out for the best. And I think that's all we have been able to take, is the opportunities that we don't get lead to new opportunities.
Exactly. You just have to believe. So guys, keep moving forward, whether that's one post, one run, one conversation at a time. And that's how you kind of build something that lasts. And that's what we're trying to do here with Free Speed. So if this episode hit home for you, we'd love if you shared this with a friend, your family, or someone who needs to hear it. And that's how the Free Speed podcast grows, through people like you guys who care and listen to this podcast consistently. So remember, if you're chasing something that's meaningful to you, you're not alone, and you're just built different.
Yeah, it's not as far as you think either. It's one step, it's one decision away from being that much closer. And really, we hope anyone listening has a great week and stays inspired, stays hungry, and keeps chasing what they're after. Thanks for listening to today's episode 30 of the Free Speed Podcast. Keep an eye out for episodes in the future, guest episodes. They will be coming soon. And Tash and I are 9 days out from our first marathon, the Sunshine Coast Marathon, which is exciting. We're hoping that it doesn't rain. It looks like it might rain, but fingers crossed. We really don't need any rain on that. And yeah, it'll be good if you guys want to follow along. We'll have some sort of links on our stories.
Yep.
And yeah, do hard things, and we'll see you guys next episode.
And as always, keep living your life.